Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ian from MaddenSchool.com, and in our first free tip of the Madden 24 season, we're going to be going over an incredibly effective quick pass. Works against every single coverage in the game. Automatic, 12 to 15 yards. I love starting out with these quick passes just because early on, you probably don't want to be just chucking the ball deep unless you really know what you're doing. So these low risk, medium reward plays are really, really effective. This play is only found in the Baltimore Ravens offensive playbook in the gun wing slot weak formation. The play is called Raven Double Post. Now, you'll want a fast running back here, which we don't necessarily have, but it'll still work just fine. And the key to this play is to make sure you're on the left hash mark. Now, against any zone coverage in the game, you just quick pass to this RB or R1 receiver, running back coming out of the backfield, and you're going to get a huge gain. Like, I know it doesn't look like much, but that's 15, 20 yards, something like that, pretty consistently. Now, if they do go to hard flats, you're still going to get 2 or 3 yards, and you don't really have to worry about an interception. The one thing you do have to worry about is if they go ahead and set their zone drops here to 0. That's the one thing that can stop this, but that's basically crazy. If you're setting your zone drops to 0, you're going to get torched all over the field. So I showed you there against a cover 3. Let me show you like a Tampa 2. It's going to be the same basic thing here. You can just see how this running back gets open. That time only 7 or 8 yards. Still pretty good. Now the key here is to be on the left hash mark, and it's all about this running back special wheel route in this play. Like, contrast it with the hot route wheel route here. See how that's kind of cuts up field a lot quicker versus the default one on this play. It really gets to the sideline and flattens out instead of turning up field. And that gives you just enough time to kind of squeeze this in here before any defenders are able to react. Now, this is going to work great against man-to-man coverage as well, but there is one little thing you're going to have to do. I'll show you, like, say they're in a cover 2 man, for example. You can run it as is, but it's only going to get you a yard or two most times. You can see how, like, you got 3 yards. It's fine. It's not great. But what you want to do if you're expecting man-to-man coverage, and this really won't impact zone coverage either, is just motion this tight end over, put him on like a streak route. What that does is it switches the guy who's in man-to-man coverage from the linebacker on the left to the linebacker on the right is now covering our running back. And so you can see the linebacker on the right's got a much longer way to go than the linebacker on the left with the M over his head. And so now, since he's responsible for the running back, you can see how this is going to turn into 12 to 15 yards instead of that like 3 or 4 yards. Again, just motion the inside tight end. It's important that it's the inside tight end, not the outside tight end. Put him on a streak route. And you can see this guy's going to get wide open. Now, this is going to work against heavy man pressure, cover 1, cover 2. Man, doesn't really matter. And let me show you it'll also work if we motion that tight end against zone. It's not going to impact anything with the zone. So you motion him over, put him on a streak. And you can do a lot of other stuff with the rest of the receivers on this play. I'm really just focusing in on this quick pass here to get you started in the year. But it's a pretty versatile play where you have a lot of different options. You can see when it's zone defense, motion the tight end doesn't impact anything either. Now, the one thing I do want to show you, like I mentioned earlier, is that if they do go to a hard flat, so let's find maybe like a cover 2 hard flat. That's something that you would think would hypothetically stop this play, and it kind of does. But you really don't have to worry about that pick 6 you would normally have to worry about on a normal wheel route. So you can still throw it. You can just see that you're going to get 2 or 3 yards, but there's no threat here of an interception. Like, you could throw this all day as long as you throw it quickly. That cornerback's not getting out there to pick that off. Versus most wheel routes, you have a big threat of an interception. Now, the one thing you do have to be aware of is someone using this route, but if they're going to be running straight to the sideline shallow on the left with their user, then you should find 100 other ways to beat them. And then if they do, like I mentioned earlier, set their zone drops to 0, that can actually stop this, but you should notice that pretty easily. Like they just kind of charge in right away, and you should be able to pick that up. So thanks for watching our first free tip of the year. Hope you guys join us this year for Madden School Unlimited, where we're going to be posting all of our best content all year. So until next time, take care.